Hello, this is Mr. Price here, and this is your first video on the autumn homework for Year 7, and it's a mix of questions. It's bits that you will have done either in the first week or starting to do, or bits that you may have even done in primary school. Okay, now hopefully you've already checked the answers to the questions that you've attempted and you've marked your work. You don't have to watch the whole video for each individual question, but anything that you're having trouble with, whether that's the whole homework or just individual questions, fast forward to the bits that you need, and make sure you make green pen learning responses for anything that you got wrong, and on how I did it as well. Okay, because there'll be hints and tips on ways to easily solve those questions. Okay, so make sure you green pen my responses into your book next to the incorrect answers, because that will help you on how to do it next time. Okay. Let's have a look at the first question. So I'm being asked to compare two numbers, 5,312,877 and 5,312,990. And we're comparing using the symbols. Now, this might be the first thing that you're having trouble with. So a little hint is... Okay, so we've got this, which is the less than symbol. We have this, which is the equal to symbol, meaning they are the same, or equal to. And then you've got the greater than symbol. Okay, so that might be the first thing you're having trouble with. So really, if you've got a number less than another number, you might say 2 is less than 10, for example. Or you might put it the other way around and say 10 is greater than 2. If you're having trouble remembering that, there is a little trick you can do, and that is the hungry crocodile will want to eat the biggest number. Okay, so there's the first trick, using those symbols. What you might also be having trouble with is identifying which one's actually bigger. So I'm going to quickly do a place value table. So we've got units, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, and millions. And that's all we need for this example. Okay, and I'm going to write my two numbers in my place value grid. So I've got 7 units, 7 tens, 8 hundreds, 2 thousands, 1 10,000s, 300,000 and 5 millions for the first question. And in the other one we've got no units, 9 tens, 9 hundreds, 2 thousands, 1 10,000s, 300,000s and 5 millions. Okay, whoop, sorry, didn't see some of that. Okay, so to compare the numbers, I'm going to start with the biggest place value that we've got, in this case the millions column. Okay, and we're going to look, is either one bigger than the other? No. So I'm going to look at the next column along. Is any of these biggest? Nope. So I'll move on to the next one along. Are any of these the biggest? Nope. So move to the next one along. Still the same. Okay, and here we can compare 900s and 800s. Okay, so clearly the one with the most hundreds, if all the others are the same, is going to be the biggest number. So here 5,312,990 is going to be bigger. So I'll look for the one which is 990, and if you want to use a little trick, we know it eats the biggest number, so my crocodile is going to eat the biggest number, like so. Okay, next question. We have 137 multiplied by 100. So for this, I'm going to use my grid here. I'm going to write in the number 137 into my place value table. Okay, now when I multiply by 10, all of my digits are going to move one place to the left. So my 1 is going to go in the Okay, sorry about that, slight interruption. So all my digits are going to move one place to the left because we're multiplying by 10. So the 1 in the hundreds column is going to shift to the thousands column. The 3 in the tens column is going to shift to the hundreds column, and the 7 in the units column is going to shift to the tens column. Now obviously if I write it like this without the table, I'll still have 137. So I need to put in a 0 to make sure that all digits shift one place to the left. So my answer to that one is 1370. And I've just realised that I'm multiplying by 100, not 10. So we multiplied by 10. We will multiply by 100 as well. Okay, so starting with 137, as I'm multiplying by 100, they will shift 2 places. So starting with 137, the 1 will shift to the thousands, and in the 10,000s, so the 1 will be here. The 3 will shift from the tens to the thousands, and the 7 will shift to the hundreds, and I need to put in my placeholder zeros to make the answer true. So 13,700. Okay, this one we've got 9,900 divided by 10. So in my place value table, I'm going to put my 9,900. Now, when I divide by 10, my digits are going to shift the other way. They're now going to shift one place to the right. So, my 9 in the thousands column will shift to the hundreds column. My 9 in the hundreds column will shift to the tens column, and my 0 will shift over to here. Now this 0 would shift over to the next column along, but as it's just a 0 and there's no other numbers to the right of it, we don't need to put this one in. So it's just 990. When we go into decimals, that will become a little bit more complicated, but not too much so. That's the answer to that one. Okay, rounding a number to the nearest 10, 100 and 1,000. For this one, I'm going to put a little number line in to help me. So, when I round to the nearest 10, I'm going to look at the tens column, which is this 0 here. So I'm going to think the nearest 10 to it, so if I didn't have any units, okay, so if I didn't have any units, I would look at, this would become 30,500 if there weren't any units there at all. Okay, and the next 10 up would be 30,510. Okay, so halfway between those is 30,505, and my answer is exactly halfway between them. By convention, if it's halfway, I round it up. So that is approximately equal to 30,510. I'm going to round this one to the nearest 100. I'm going to do a number line again, this time to the nearest 100. Now, I'm going to look at the hundreds column. It's a 5. So it's either going to be 30,500 or 30,600. So I'm going to put the two nearest hundreds on my number line. So 30,500, 30,600. Halfway between them is 30,550. Now, if I look at my number is to the left of this. Okay, so it's going to round down to 30,500. So this is approximately equal to 30,500. Okay, now my final answer, or my final question, is to the nearest 1,000. Exactly the same. I look at the thousands column. I look at the two nearest thousands near it. So it's either 30,000 or 31,000. I'll put those on my number line. 30,000 or 31,000. Halfway between them is 35,000. Sorry, wrong. 30,500 I mean. Okay, and I want 30,505. Then that's just a smidgen over to the right. Okay, because it's just over 500, so it's just a smidgen to the right. It's nearest to 31,000. So that is approximately equal to 31,000. Okay. Let's look at this one. Arrange the digits to make the largest possible number. Now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. So that's going to have 5 digits all the way up to the fifth place value column. Now, to make the largest possible number, I want my largest digits to be on the left so that they make the biggest difference. So I'd rather have 8 hundreds rather than 8 tens, because that would be bigger. Okay, so I'm just going to start with the biggest number, 8, and work my way along. Next biggest digit is 6, the next biggest digit is 5, the next biggest digit is 2, and the next biggest digit is 1. So the largest number I can make with those digits, if I only use them once, is 86,521. Okay, that was the compulsory part of the homework. If you need to rewind through any bits of that, you can do. Otherwise, we'll look at the extension task. Okay, we're being asked to convert 19 in base 10 into base 4. Okay, so I'm going to start with the biggest one that I have. That's going to be 16s. I need to think, how many 16s do I need? And if I've got one 16, I'm going to have 16. If I have two 16s, I'm going to have 32. That's going to be too much. So I only want one 16. I then need to think, if I have a 4, if I've got a 16 and a 4, that will get me to 20, which is too big, so I don't want any 4s. I now need to think, if I'm at 16, how many 1s do I need? And that is 3. So 19 in base 10 is 103 in base 4. Now let's try the same thing again. 97 in base 10. We would like it in base 5. First thing we need is our place value system. So we've got 1s, we've got 5s, and then we have 25s. Okay, so we need to decide how many 25s do we need to get to 97 or below it. Okay, the answer will be 3 25s, which gives us 75. Okay, so if we're at 75 now, we need to think, how many 5s do we need to get to 97? So starting at 75, we'll need 1 5, which gets us to 80, another 5, which gives us to 85, 90, 95. If we have 5 in total, that would be too much. That would get us to 100. So we need 4 5s. We're now at 95. We now need 2 1s to get us to 97. So 3 4 2 is 97 base 10 in base 5. Okay, hopefully you found that okay. If there's anything you need to come and see me about, you know my door's always open, and have a good day.